Welcome to the Guys with Rides YouTube channel, where I do dumb things in this garage so you don't. My name is Rudy Samsell and I'm the co-founder of Guys with Rides. And this is my weekly grind time garage vlog. If you haven't been following along, last week I took Project Risky Business, my 1985 $4,000 Porsche 928 barn find, on a shakedown cruise to Allentown, Pennsylvania and back. That's about a 120-mile round trip, and I found several things that I did not like about the car driving it. One is a sticky throttle cable, another are noisy front wheel bearings, and the third and most important, and I'm convinced based on the drivability, poor gas mileage, and just a sense of lack of power, that the car needs either its injectors rebuilt and ultrasonically cleaned or replaced altogether. Unfortunately, the 1985 and 1986 US 928 models are a bit of an orphan. In the 928 circles, these are known as the S3 cars. 1985 was the first year of the US only 32 valve motor and the Injectronic fuel injection system. Unfortunately, the $700 set of manuals often overlooks these S3 cars. And the fuel injection system is no different. With the service manuals being no help, I looked online and I could not find a good video or write-up on how to take out the injectors on an S3 car. So in this video, I'm going to take you through, in the proper sequence I used, the 12 steps needed to remove not only the fuel injectors, but the rails that support them. After I take you through that, I'll walk you through what my plan is to replace these injectors. Stay tuned. So step one is to remove the air cleaner inlet tubes on each side of the engine. There's no hardware holding these in, and they just slip in underneath the strut brace. Next is step two, is to remove the air cleaner. There's two sections to this with the air cleaner. It's a filter element sandwiched between. You undo 4 bulky straps to remove the top section. Store that carefully. And then there are 2 Nylon style nuts are holding the base of the air cleaner to the engine. Those twist off easily. Just be sure you hold them. You undo the MAF sensor, and then the base comes right out. Step 3 is to unscrew the 20 airbox bellows screws that hold the bellows that connect the 2 air boxes on each side of the engine to the intake runners. Step 4 is then remove the air box. On the driver's side, you see me unscrewing the PCV valve tube. That's not on the passenger side. Once I had the air boxes off, it's not shown, but I did put all the bellows onto the air boxes to give me the most clearance possible on the engine for the next steps. I'm just showing there is a little bit of sheen on the inside of that. It's a mixture of oil and maybe some raw gas. The passenger side airbox, similar procedure. And once those are loosened, the airbox comes right off and there is no other connection to it. Those are both made out of magnesium. Next up are the spark plug wires that attach to each fuel rail. There's 3 bolts on each side. I believe that's an 8mm holding them on. I did not get a good shot directly while I was doing this, but if if you're familiar with these engines, you see me loosening one of the bolts here, the lead one, against the fuel rail. The next step is to remove the 10mm bolts that hold the rail to the intake runners. And here I am with a 10mm on the driver's side. I do not have a shot of the back one, but you see where they are relative to the manifold runners. Step 7 is to remove the 8 injector to rail connectors. This is nothing more than putting a screwdriver in and prying them out. I have a magnet when I do this so that they don't go flying. The magnet catches them. And then the last step should be loosening the bolts for the rail, the injector rails. This is a combination of a 15mm wrench and a 17, I believe. And I do not use flare wrenches. I don't even own them. If you're careful, it should be okay. That's the back driver's side. I don't have a shot of the front one. And this is the back passenger side. I wanted to show it again. Sorry, it's a 19mm and a 15 for all of these fittings. And just break them loose, and I finger loosen them. And this is the messiest part because gasoline will leak out. Once you know you have all of those fittings, you can pry the fuel rail from the top of the injectors. There's just an O-ring holding them on once the clip is gone. And I found these came out fairly easily once I knew all the hardware was off. You saw a little gas dripping there. There's a shot of, you can see 3 of the 4 injectors. Some of the O-rings stayed in the guide rail. I elected to take, for step 10, I removed the fuel injectors with the wiring still attached. And that's what I'm showing here. And that, as you'd expect, 38-year-old Porsche electrical connectors are just, most of them failed. Quite frankly, the clips either broke off or the metal clips on these old style went flying. See, I had a hell of a time getting these apart, varying degrees, trying to use micro screwdrivers to get them out, push the tabs in. I'm sure there's a special tool that makes this job easy, but I don't own it. So 6 of the 8 connectors broke in some way, shape, or form. I'll talk about my resolution at the end here. There's a shot of typical injector. And then before I pulled an injector out, I would clean around the base to ensure no dirt got into the induction chamber. But you can see me struggling. I did pour PB Blaster on these to try and help loosen the O-ring. Some of them needed 2 hands. Just have to wiggle it and work your way into it. I should have put my gloves back on, but I didn't. So once I removed the injectors, my plan was to send them to a company in Schenectady to rebuild them to clean, repaint, and rebuild them for me. And they quote a 48-hour turnaround once they receive the parts. Knowing how lead times are these days, and the fact I'm under pressure, I really want to get this car ready to start cruising to car shows starting April 7th. I really didn't have much time, so I reached out to them directly over the phone, and sure enough, he's quoting them. He says it's going to be at least 2 weeks to turn those around. And on top of that, we don't know which ones are good. There's no guarantee that all 8 will come back refreshed and ready to go. So knowing I've got what might be almost a month to wait for old injectors, that some of which I might have to replace anyway, combined with the fact you saw that 6 of the 8 connectors I broke trying to get these apart, I made the tough decision to order a new set of fuel injectors, as well as the new couplers, new electrical couplers to splice in. As always, Roger at 928 or us in Texas is always a great resource. I talked to him over the phone as well as exchanged a couple emails. And not only does he have a set of brand new Bosch, I guess they're Generation 2 injectors, so they have a slightly higher flow rate and a better atomization. So that should help improve the performance quite a bit on this car. But it didn't make any sense putting brand new injectors and connecting them to 38-year-old marginal electrical connectors. I'm only open with all the known electrical issues these cars have. I'm not going to add to the equation by hobbing together and trying to keep them connected, 38-year-old bad connectors. It just made sense to go ahead, order a set of new connectors that come with pins and rewire everything using the existing loom as best as possible. So I ordered those over the weekend. They fulfilled the order and sent it out on Monday, but as of this video, I do not have a delivery date. I'm expecting those will be here on Thursday. They are coming along with front wheel bearings. I've ordered a complete set of those. So with those parts coming the end of this week and the Easter holiday, I will be a very busy boy that first week of April trying to get all of this in to make what's known as the Gathering of the Faithful, a Porsche club, a local Porsche club event that I'd like to drive the car to on Sunday, April 7th. Right after that, every weekend there's Cars and Coffees, and I'd really like to take the car to those events as a promotional tool. Next week's video will come out probably towards the end of the week, and it will be geared towards getting the car running again. That's my first priority, is to get it back into running condition, and I will be working on that until it does. Once I know it's running reliably, that's when I'll take the wheels off, the front hubs off, replace the bearings, and show that in a subsequent episode. And at some point in all of this, I will try to get the sticking throttle fixed. But priority is get it running again and quiet down those bearings. So if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button and comment, as both of those help the channel grow. As I finish this video, I'm at about 1,950 subscribers. If you can get the word out, I would love to get to 2,000 sometime in April. If we're on track to do that, I would love to keep that momentum going. So I thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you can comment below or reach out to me on my phone number located on the website. Thanks for watching. Have a great Easter for those of you who celebrate it. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching this video. Please press the like and subscribe button, comment below, and be sure to check out our other videos on this subject, as well as all of the great content on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, you can call me at the number listed below, or be sure to check out our main website, guyswithrides.com.